Hello and welcome to this brief overview of the PowerQuote Planned Maintenance Service application. The software helps organize the maintenance and servicing of equipment on sites. Service schedules can handle recurring services. Before we go into the schedule itself, let's have a brief look at the equipment database. The equipment database can be limited by customer or site. As you can see, we have a register here of equipment on the site, showing the location, the service plan that applies to each piece of equipment, and if it's in warranty, along with any notes on the equipment. For each piece of equipment, we have a history inspection register showing the dates when it was inspected, the task that was carried out, the result, the engineer, and any comments. So let's get into the service planner itself. As you can see with the planner, it's color coded, and the ones we've set up here are green to show that these jobs have been completed. The yellow means that they've been raised and are active but not yet completed, and the red simply means that the appointments have been scheduled but the job's not yet been raised. There are two ways we can look at the job planner. The one is in the calendar mode as we have here, and the other one, if we go into a day mode, you can see it in day mode. Here we have 5 days set up, but we can alter that to a single day or a month, week, whatever we want. And the start and end time for the day can also be set. Any appointments that we have scheduled can be altered simply by dragging them to another date or indeed another time. If we want, we can alter the duration of the appointment simply by dragging it that way. If we go back to the calendar, we can see the appointment has now been altered to the 21st. If we want to add a new appointment, we simply select an appointment here, set the customer in question, and if we set up a planned maintenance appointment, say for a fire alarm, 3-month plan, and you notice on the headers we've got information in there. We can select what information we want to show, and I'll show the service and the engineer. In fact, I'll select an engineer. We'll pop Fred in there. We can put some notes in there which will then go out onto the service sheet for the engineer and be passed over to the invoicing if we need to invoice the job. The time is automatically set from the service that's selected. If it's a recurring appointment, then we can set up the recurrency, and this one was a 3-monthly one I think we selected there. So if I put it into recur every 3 months, I put it weekly, every 3 months, and on the first weekday of the month. We can then set the range for the occurrences, either a number or until date. So if I set that to run for say 12 months for this example, and that will now set it up for to recur every 3 months. When I select OK, we can see there's a little recurrency symbol there which shows it's a recurring appointment, as are the weekly ones we can see here. The others are just appointments by looks of it for a reactive maintenance, or could be for some small works. So if I set up another type of appointment, just show you the small works, that was obviously a service appointment. I set up a appointment for reactive maintenance or small works on this occasion. If I put in the customer we have there and the site, and I'll select contract plan, say a 7-day plan. These all have preset rates for them. The contract plans, you can have as many as you want, and they can be linked to a customer or site, so that when you call up the customer or the site, it will bring up the plan which you used for that customer. So we'll display the site on the header, and job type, what should we do? Small works. I think it'll put small works in there, and we'll set it as active for now and put some notes in there. Add socket outlets to meeting room. Okay, the engineer I'm not sure is available on that day, so what I can show you is the labour scheduler while we're here. If I call that up, we can see Fred's already busy in the morning, so we'll allocate this one to Barney, and the time's already in there for us. So I'll just say what we want to show on the job there. So we'll put Barney in there, and if we want, we can send Rocky with him. Again, with your labour scheduler, you can set the appointments up to recur if you need to, and you can look at them in calendar mode as well as day mode. Simply showing the 20th here because it's a one-off appointment for the day. But there's our labour scheduler, and you can alter it in the same way that you can the job scheduler. Print off a worksheet if we want, and there we go. We have a couple of extra jobs on there now. Right, so to call up our services when they're required, we go into the maintenance due form, and it's just showing 3 appointments. That's because it's only showing the pending ones, the ones that are pending. If I remove that, we can see the appointments which have been completed and one that's been scheduled not completed. We can look at different views. This one's in calendar mode, but we can look at just the sites to see what sites we need to service for the selected period, or the services being carried out on the sites, or a fully detailed one showing all description of all the equipment and the services being carried out. If we go back to our calendar view, we can also limit that to a site or a customer if we want, and obviously limit by dates. I select new job, that will raise all the jobs that are outstanding within the time period, or the other way we can do it is just to select an individual job, which will then raise the job individually. So there's our service form for the engineer, and with this one we've asked for a full report, so it's listing all items of equipment, giving us those by location, and a schedule of the works that need to be completed, so that can go out to our engineer. Could have done a basic report which doesn't have so much detail on if we want, and again any of our reports in our systems can be sent to the screen, printer, file, email straight out, or you can edit them with an editor if you wish. So once the job's gone out, the engineer comes back. We then need to complete it. If it's just a simple job and you don't maintain an equipment register, you can just go to the job planner and pull up the job, select edit, and set it as completed. Otherwise, if we maintain an equipment register as we do here, we can go into the maintenance results and pull up the job, and then we can see all the items of equipment being listed there, and we can then put in the results. So if I just set them all to pass, you can see they're set to pass, and set them all as completed, alter them all in together. If we've got any individual which isn't completed, we can alter that, and again we can put if it's failed, whether it's failed or if it needs repaired, we can alter that there, and enter an engineer's comment against the item for the equipment history register. Get into the engineer service report in there if we wish, and then if the job's completed we can sign it off. That's now signed off for the purpose of our KPI report. If we need to send a service report to our customer, we can print one off or email it from there. Now I come out of this screen. We can then go into look at a couple of reports, and the first report is the equipment status report, and we can see in this one that there's one item which is outstanding. This is an individual item within the equipment register, and it's outstanding because it failed the result and we're awaiting a replacement. But this will show any equipment which is due to be outstanding in the next 7 days, or we can show overdue equipment. The status report will give you a similar report by job, so it will just show any jobs which are due within the next number of days or overdue already. Then the equipment KPI report gives us a graphical response for how we're doing. So we can see here we've completed 98% of our equipment on time, just 1.82% outstanding. Again, we can list these by client or site and between certain dates if we wish, so we can send these off to our customer to show them how we're performing or use them for management reports. The other report we can use or view here is a service results, and we've simply got a pass or fail here, but with our service results we can add more and input more if we want, so we could have repaired, replaced and so on if we want more detail collected. And the jobs KPI will do a similar report, in that will show the jobs which have been completed on time or not. So that's just a very brief overview of the service application from Pricelinks. Once the service is completed, if you've not already invoiced your customer, you can go into the job and add any extras which may not have been covered on the service. And then if you need to invoice it off, you can also invoice it off to your customer. If you'd like more information, you can find more information at pricelinks.co.uk. Thank you very much for your time.